This month we have a number of great catalog Blu-ray and DVD releases to look at, starting with Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. Now, I'll be the first person to admit I am as far from a Shakespeare fan as they come. And so the idea of watching a 4-hour Shakespeare movie was more than a little bit daunting. And frankly, if it wasn't for the fact that it was Kenneth Branagh doing it, I probably would have no interest in it whatsoever. But, that being said, this is an amazing film in terms of what it is. I think you still have to like Shakespeare to really enjoy it, though. With a cast that includes Branagh himself, Julie Christie, Billy Crystal, Gerard Depardieu, Charlton Heston, Derek Jacobi, Jack Lemmon, Rufus Sewell, Robin Williams, and Kate Winslet, you know that you're in at least for an acting tour de force, and that is certainly the case here. And I find people who can handle Shakespeare and pull it off to be pretty amazing, and this film is really no different. If anybody in modern cinema understands Shakespeare, it's Kenneth Branagh, who does a fantastic job here of adapting the entire play into this gigantic film. It's just a bit much. I don't care for watching Shakespeare in general, or reading it for that matter. I know that's not necessarily the most educated viewpoint, but it's the truth, so I may as well be honest with you. But this is a really amazing film to watch in terms of the cinematography, the performances, the sets. Just the sheer scope and power of the movie is amazing. Even if at 4 hours long, it's a bit on the boring side. So kind of a hit or miss. If you like Shakespeare, you have to own this DVD, this Blu-ray, and if you don't, then you probably don't need to. Now, Warner Brothers has released it in a very nice Blu-ray book edition. I love their books. It's a 36-page full-color hardcover book. Includes cast bios, trivia, film facts, all that type of stuff. It's a really beautiful package. Of course, in terms of the Blu-ray, well, this is what Blu-ray was made for. You get gorgeous, gorgeous colors, crystal clear imagery. Like I mentioned before, the scope of the film is really evident here. You kind of just get the sense of what a big production this is. And it sounds like it, too. The surround sound is large and expansive, and it really kind of brings the whole world to life. It's not as over-the-top bombastic as, like, say, a Transformers movie would be on Blu-ray, but really there's no lack of ambiance throughout the entire film, and that's pretty impressive. Special features in addition to the hardcover book, you get an introduction by Kenneth Branagh, a commentary by Kenneth Branagh, along with a Shakespearean scholar named Russell Jackson, a making-of called To Be on Camera, A History with Hamlet, a 1996 Cannes Film Festival promo, and of course the theatrical trailer. Next up, switching gears completely from the Bard to the King of Rock and Roll, we have the Elvis Blu-ray Collection, which is a really nice 3-disc set, which includes 2 of Elvis's most loved and most popular films, and frankly 2 of his best films, Jailhouse Rock and Viva Las Vegas. And in addition, there's the Elvis on Tour movie, which I believe is making its debut on any sort of home video format, and they've of course released it on both DVD and Blu-ray. Now, Jailhouse Rock and Viva Las Vegas have been available on home video for quite some time, and like I said, they're 2 of Elvis's better movies. Not that that's necessarily saying a whole lot, but Elvis on Tour is really the highlight here. It's 25 musical numbers. Yes, it's sort of the late Elvis with the crazy costumes and the sequins and the sideburns, but he's pretty fantastic. It's a really great live show, and it really just has an energy to it that kind of showcases Elvis's entire career worth of hits, and I really like that. There are montage sequences that were supervised by Martin Scorsese that showcase Presley's early career and movies, so it's kind of like a concert plus a little bit of a documentary to it as well. Now, all 3 of these look pretty good on Blu-ray. I'd rather watch these movies on Blu-ray than on anything else, but this isn't, of course, reference quality stuff here. Jailhouse Rock and Viva Las Vegas, lots of bright colors. The Technicolor really shines here. Pretty good picture clarity, a little bit of dust and debris in the picture, nothing too noticeable though. And then Elvis on Tour also looks very kind of realistic. It sort of captures that live performance feel. There's a little bit of grain to it that kind of gives it that cinematic quality. And of course the home video and some of the archival footage that peppers throughout it are varying quality depending on the source material. But if you're an Elvis fan and you have a Blu-ray player, this is really kind of the first representation of Elvis on Blu-ray, and it's a pretty fantastic set, so it's worth picking up. Next, we have National Lampoon's Vacation and National Lampoon's European Vacation, of course, 2 Chevy Chase classics. And they're on Blu-ray for the first time. These are semi-great films. I know a lot of people love these movies, and I have a fondness for them. But I think if you didn't grow up watching them, they've aged a little bit. And so, while they're certainly fun to revisit on Blu-ray, I don't know if they're the kinds of movies that you sort of have to have in high definition. That being said, they do certainly look better than I've ever seen them on either television or on DVD releases. Colors are a little bit brighter, picture quality is a little bit clearer, but again, it's more of that kind of standard Blu-ray upgrade, not anything. It's not going to redefine the way you look at the film. Surround sound, same way. These are pretty front and center heavy mixes, probably because of the source material and the age of the films, but the rear speakers do occasionally pipe in with a sound effect or some music here or there. Now, in terms of special features, National Lampoon's Vacation includes a commentary by Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Anthony Michael Hall, Dana Barron, and then director Harold Ramis and producer Maddie Simmons. So that's pretty awesome. You get most of the cast and the main crew to provide a commentary track. In addition, there is an introduction by Chase, Quaid, and Simmons. In terms of the National Lampoon's European Vacation Blu-ray, the only extra feature you get is a commentary by Chevy Chase, but again, if you're a Chevy Chase fan, then that's a pretty cool bonus feature to have. Next up, we have the Errol Flynn Adventures Collection. This is actually pretty cool for me because I had never really discovered this side of Errol Flynn before. I mostly know him, of course, as Robin Hood and the Swashbuckler, but these are 5 war movies. And what you get are Desperate Journey, Edge of Darkness, Northern Pursuit, Uncertain Glory, and Objective Burma, most of which see Errol Flynn fighting the Nazis. So I guess he's still a great adventurer, just more of a war adventurer. 5 movies, all only available in this set. They're all pretty good for what they are. You know, these are classic films. Some of them are a little slower in places. I really enjoyed Edge of Darkness and Northern Pursuit, both of which involve Nazis in World War II. As always with these sort of TCM Spotlight collections, you get the Warner Night at the Movies, which is pre-show stuff, including newsreels, trailers, short films, cartoons, and stuff like that from the film's release year. So the extra features don't have anything necessarily to do with the films themselves, but they are a nice added bonus. And this is a great box set. It's 5 discs. It's well packaged. And for those of you who are Errol Flynn fans, and or for those of you like me who only know him as Robin Hood, this is a great release to have. Finally, we have Yellowstone Kelly, one of the Warner Brothers Archive Collection DVDs. This is a Western. It's a pretty standard Western, and on the front it does proclaim, "Clint's back." That's not Clint Eastwood, just so you know. That is Clint Walker, who I only have a vague notion of. I don't really know his movies that well. He's sort of one of those fringe Hollywood stars from back in the classic days. You know, well known to people of the time, not so much nowadays. And this is a pretty standard, you know, cowboys and Indians type of movie. It certainly is enjoyable. It's only 92 minutes long, so it's not too long. It doesn't drag on too long. It gets things going very quickly. Then the action happens quickly. There's a romance in there for the ladies. It's enjoyable. Nothing really particularly groundbreaking. I can see why it was released into the Archive Collection. It has been remastered for this DVD release, which is more than most of the Archive Collection DVDs can say they have going for them. So it does look quite good. Colors especially really look sharp, and picture quality for a film this old is pretty good. Not like it would be if it was a Blu-ray, but it certainly is a good-looking film on DVD. As always, the Warner Archive discs are only available through the Warner Archive online site. Can be ordered specially through them. It's not available for sale. So if you go looking for this disc in your local stores, you are not going to find it. And as also with the Warner Archive Collection, there are no extra features on this disc. Still, this month's catalog selection has a little bit of something for everyone. Westerns, Nazis, broad comedy, Elvis, and of course Shakespeare. I don't think you can get a bigger range of different types of movies than that.